Hi, in this video I'm going to quickly go over some of the changes that were made in EdgeRater for August, and there are some fairly major changes to improve the functionality of the software and make it easier to use. So I'm going to go through those. I'm not going to go through the new template because I already produced a video on that. Check the YouTube channel to see that one. It's on the linear regression analysis template. But this does leave us with a good place to get started, and that is just by looking at the list of templates and the categories that are on the right hand side. So now whenever you select a category, actually the first template in that category is automatically selected. So you don't have to select the category and then go and select the first template. It will automatically be selected unless you are already in that category and then you select the category again, in which case you'll see the actual category information. But if you're selecting a new category, the first template will be selected, and then you just have to press the run button and it will run the first template using the symbol list that you have selected too. And that is useful for another reason. If you've run a template and produced a report, for instance the linear regression analysis template, and then perhaps you've run the seasonality template to get seasonality for the same list, now you have two reports. Now if you go back and select the linear regression category, and it's going to select the report that you previously had open in that category. So now it's easy to go back and forth between categories and have the last one that was selected reselected when you go back into that category. Previously it didn't do that, and it always put you back at the category and you had to navigate back down to find the report. So that's a big improvement there. And another major change is the ability now with templates to specify chart layouts. So an example of that is with the new linear regression analysis template, and I've added a chart layouts tab to the template, and anybody can add chart layouts tab to their own templates that they create. And the way that works is you specify the range of cells that your chart layout is going to apply to, and then when you click on any cells in that range on the values worksheet, it will then show the chart layout that's defined by the area scripts column here. And it will also apply the sizing to the different areas for your layout as indicated by the D column. And the format of area scripts is not so easy to understand when it's all listed on one line like this, but what you can do if you want to find out what the format should be, what you should enter here into your own templates, is you can go to a chart and you could build yourself a layout or select one of the existing layouts and modify it, and then save the layout. I will save it as my test layout. And now if I go to the area on the hard drive where everything is stored, which is under Documents, EdgeRater, Configuration, Chart Layouts, and I look in My Layouts, it brings up, I'm just looking at it in Notepad, and you can see I just added my test layout, and you can see the area scripts. This would be the format that you would use for that particular area. And if you wanted the sizes to be different for those areas, you would use the whatever the sizes are in here, reflect what you have in what you had saved from the chart. So that's only interesting if you're going to be making your own templates. If you're not going to be making your own templates, you don't have to worry about any of that, and you will just get the values that have been built into the system templates. And an example of the way that works then is, now that I have defined various layouts for all these different columns, I can bring up a chart. For instance, let me bring up a chart of LNG, and this layout has been specifically configured for the column that we're looking at. And if I navigate now to different columns in this worksheet, you'll see that the layout itself actually updates to be specific for the column that we're looking at. So now I'll use my cursor keys to scroll around the template, and as I move through the various columns, You can't actually see where the cursor is now because it's being hidden by this chart window, but if you had enough space on your screen, or if you had two screens, you could have the chart window in one and the template report in another. And you see it updates for the correct stock and also for the specified layout. And another thing that you might want to do is it will only update the layout if you have this checkbox checked in. This is a new checkbox, a new button on the toolbar, which is called Link to Template Layout. Right now it's selected. If I turn that off and then I go and scroll around the worksheet, you see now I'm only updating stock symbol. I'm not actually updating for the layouts that are specified for the various columns. And that's useful if you have just brought up a stock and you want to see a different layout defined for that stock. For instance, if you wanted to see if there were squeezes in that stock, and then you wanted to keep your squeeze layout but still navigate around the spreadsheet and see different symbols, then it's possible to do that. But as soon as you click in this button which says Link to Template Layout, and you then start navigating around, you go back to the layout that's been defined for this column. Another improvement, and really this is a bug fix, is that now when you pop out the Layouts panel, it doesn't automatically select the first layout in that panel, and it used to do that, and so every time you used to pop out the Layouts panel, it would change the layout that you were looking at. It's very confusing, but that's all been fixed. Also, when you pop out the Symbols panel, it won't now switch back to the first symbol in your symbol list, and it used to do that. That was a bug, and that's been fixed. So now there's no surprises when you start popping out these different panels. It's not going to switch the stock or the layout that you're looking at. Another change that you probably have noticed if you look at the report produced by the linear regression channel analysis template is that there is a description column. And previously it wasn't possible to get this description column in any of the templates, but now you can add this just like any other column, and you just add the name description you can see listed here. If you put that into a column and designate it as being a formula, then the description will appear in the column. So that is a capability that has just been added. The template, linear regression channel analysis template, has the description column now built in, and I've also gone back to the annual trends templates and added description into every one of these. So it's for the now template for the monthly performance, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, and 1 month. You'll see now if I run this template, we actually get the description. And that's more important on these templates if you're doing something like looking at a list of industries. Now, this list of industries has been exported from HGSI into a metastock format and then imported into EdgeRater. And when HGSI generates the symbol name for the index, it gives it a random name, so you can't actually discern what the description of that index is unless in the symbol list you look in the description column, but it was never possible to put that also into the report. So now if I run this template on the list of industry groups exported from HGSI, you see that by the side now of the symbol, you can see what the index symbol was, but you also see the index description. So that makes it very useful for looking at those types of indexes. And finally, an important change, and I would say this is really it's an improvement. It was sort of a bug, but what would happen is if you were looking at, for instance, let's check out the linear regression analysis template again, and you'll notice at the top of this template for issues that are IPOs or where the symbol has changed, we don't have enough information to give us 1 year of data for the indicator, to give us an indicator value for 1 year or 9 months. And so they have these num numbers in the worksheet. When you're looking at the chart, let me bring up a chart by double clicking. By the way, that is another improvement. If you double click on any cell, even if you previously have the chart hidden in the background, double clicking will bring up the chart. Previously it didn't do that. Now as I scroll around, or if I scroll up to Alcoa, and I'm going to now go up to the issues that have not enough data, you'll see the effect. And if I just zoom this chart out, so I have from August through to August, just remember that. And as I scroll now through the list, we go to Twitter, which doesn't have enough information, has from November. We go to Google, that doesn't have enough information, and it goes from March. And then scroll back down again, and you'll see now the chart is maintained the setting from August through August. Also, this now works if you've got the chart set on weekly time frame, and the weekly time frame, you will actually have to, if you want to keep that time frame, you have to unlink it to the template layout, because the template layout defines the daily time frame. And now if I scroll through, I'm going to maintain my weekly view. Even if I go down to something like Google, which doesn't have enough bars for the week to show all 200 or however many bars there were for the week, 52 for 1 year. When I go back out to a stock that has enough bars, then it just goes back to the zoom that was set in for that stock. And now if I link it back to layouts, to the template layout, and I select another symbol, now you see that it's switched back to a daily view, because the layout for this, the chart layout, has been defined, if you look in chart layouts, as being a data cycle of day, and so of 1 day actually. So that's why the chart updated to be a daily chart and instead of being the weekly chart that we had it set to. Okay, so they are the improvements for the software for August, and of course everyone who has the program will automatically get all of the improvements to the base program, such as the charting fixes, the selecting the various templates and the way that works. And if you have your templates, if you're still receiving templates, you'll obviously get all of those templates too. And for people who don't have an existing subscription to get new templates as they're developed, that's fine. You still get all of that functionality except for the new templates. And of course, if you want to get the new templates, just send me an email. So that's it. Thanks a lot.